This episode is brought to you by Redfin. You're listening to a podcast, which means you're probably multitasking. Maybe even scrolling home listings on Redfin, saving homes without expecting to get them. But Redfin isn't just built for endless browsing. It's built to help you find and own a home. With agents who close twice as many deals, when you find the one, you've got a real shot at getting it. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
Looking to see what's happening around your home? Ring's battery doorbell helps you track packages and see who's at your door in real time. The Outdoor Cam Plus protects your yard at night with a wide field of view and clearer Retinal 2K video. Or upgrade to 4K cameras and doorbells with Retinal Vision for ultra-clear zoom and detail. Your door, your yard, your home. With Ring, it's protected. Shop cameras, doorbells, and more at ring.com now.
As always, it's Noor, and crazy that when I set this meeting up, when I set this call up, I was like, when's the last time Selle was on my podcast? Fucking like 2 years ago to talk about Love is Blind. Probably like the second season of Love is Blind. We're on season like 17.
Did you see that the next season is in Boston?
I did.
Unfortunately, this show, I'm so ashamed to admit this, they will get me every single
season. I will be in a nursing home watching fucking Love is Blind, okay?
I will. Yep. I was like, Boston, love it. And then St. Louis is coming up too, so I have to do that.
No, of course. I heard that they tried it in New Jersey, and I don't think it took a bite. Like...
I would love to see.
I would love to see New Jersey. Okay, guys, we're going to talk briefly about the Valley and Southern hospitality, but we're primarily going to talk about fucking Summer House. Can I just say something before we start on anything? Just on the topic of Summer House, I wish they'd stop asking people if they've responded to Wes texts. Like, anytime someone puts a mic in a Summer House cast member's name, they're like, so, have you responded to Wes text? I don't give a fuck. I don't care.
I don't care. And you know what? I am like, did you guys watch these last final episodes or fucking not? And don't piss me off, because KJ threaded a tweet or whatever we do over there and said, my friends would never hit on my girl behind my back. And he is like taken aback by by Wes saying this is the hottest outfit the house has seen in a while. And no disrespect to Dara, very gorgeous girl, love her. I've been defending her. Dara, get behind me. You look beautiful, mama. This is not a diss on you, but you had on a bikini and a fur coat. What irritates me is this is the hottest costume, and she's just got on a bikini and a coat. Her face, makeup, T, body, T. The makeup was a real highlight, okay? But do I expect Wes to be like, that blush combo? Fire. No, I don't. Okay.
You know who unfortunately would talk about the blush combo is Jesse.
Nor, I'm getting really upset because I did block Jesse Solomon because I was tired of getting accosted by sudden videos of him singing, right?
Yes.
On my timeline. And you know what? He sang a song that was like, if you don't like me, then... And I was like, I'm going to take his advice and skedaddle on out of here.
Unsubscribe.
But... Well, I never followed him. But I had to block him. The videos were so shocking to me when I would scroll and he'd be like, ah!
Yeah, I know.
Holy shit. But he's been reflecting. He's been making some sense. And I can't stand Jesse. Like, that man is so annoying. But these last 2 episodes, he has said things that I was like, there is a couple senses in your brain. There, 1 or 2 or 3.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's shocking. It's like, also I think a lot of these Bravo guys always get the benefit of being the smallest piece of shit in a pool of large pieces of shit. It's like the way we watched The Valley for 2 seasons, and then we were like, yeah, the rest of the guys are pretty bad, but there's fucking Jax Taylor. And now that Jax Taylor's gone, they're like, oh, yeah, we've always known all these guys were fucking shit. So on that note, let's briefly touch on the Valley.
Mhm.
It just continues to be one of the saddest shows on Bravo. It bums me the fuck out. The
Mhm.
team continued their sad trip to Sad Diego. The postpartum women are still shackled to the darkness of their weird, shitty partners who, for some reason, think that cooking a baby, growing the baby, pushing the baby out, bleeding out of your eyeballs, breastfeeding the baby, caring for the baby, healing an organ is the same thing as, like, I don't know what it's like to be a first time dad.
Nor
Anyway.
if I hear well, I think Luke said it Luke said it.
Yeah.
He was like, "I don't know how to be a dad either." I was like because for a couple of things. First of all, I was reminded how shitty we've seen him be. Remember, not what is BravoCon last year? People, all those like rumors were like, yeah, Luke was getting drunk and talking shit about Kristen. Remember all those? I don't really pay it that much attention to Kristen, but I've had to like tell her to not get behind me, but get beside me a little bit because I will not stand for any man doing this shit. But also, I'm like, I'm with Nia. I can't, bitch. You are where you want to be, and I don't care for her. With Kristen, I'm
You
just
haven't out.
so.
You
I'm
haven't out.
worried.
You only have one baby and you're
Yeah.
not married yet.
I'm worried because she did an interview and the person asked her, like, are you still seeing that therapist who told you, like, what's 15 minutes out of your day when it came to, like, physically not feeling outside of her body and not wanting to open her legs for the gremlin that she reproduced with. And she's like, I am still seeing that therapist. And just so you know, she's not the only person that gave me that advice. So?
Don't talk to any of them. They're all
Literally,
giving you bad advice.
because she's not the only person that gave you that advice doesn't mean that you hang out with Nia. So I'm not shocked. You hang out with trad wife Nia.
Well, speaking of trad wife Nia, it's Danny from Santa Clarita is really being a disgusting drunk monster this episode. And in a shocking turn of events, Lala from Utah actually, for once, pops off at the right person. She takes her little acrylic nail fingers and she says, "Don't piss me off," to that little tiny man, Danny, who is drunk the entire fucking episode, horrible to his wife the entire fucking episode. And Lala says, "Hey, you're pissing me off with the way you're talking to your wife right now. And maybe this is what you guys do, but I'm getting really triggered and I don't like the way you're talking to her." To which Danny says, "Guys, don't talk to Lala. She's triggered. Me, my pageant name is going to be Miss Triggered. Triggered. So Lala finally is like, "I'm not the fucking one, bitch." And Nia says in a confessional, "My initial response to this is none of your business, Lala." I was like, well, you know what? Fuck off, Nia. I don't care about you anymore. I don't care. There's a podcast or like an Instagram called account called Vanderpod Recaps where they listen to these podcasts and they like post about it. And apparently there was an episode that Nia and Danny just released yesterday where they talk about their marriage. And it's so fucking gross. Like it's sprinkled with like all these like words that they've learned on Instagram with like faith and love in God and prayer and like respect. Danny says men need to be respected and women need to be loved. No, women also need to be respected. What the fuck are you talking about? It was so dark. Those two are tripling down on their toxicity. I've always said this, the Valley is like Christo-fascist, heteronormative nonsense propaganda. I don't like it. Again, it's just like a depressing fucking show. But I am glad that at least Lauren from Utah is yelling at the right man.
I'm so torn because I don't like Lauren, right?
Yes, correct.
And
on record, the two people here,
I know.
We don't like.
But I also don't like Danny and Nia because I said this over on my podcast. Nia sent one of my best friends who is not involved in podcasting, internet, like not an influencer, nothing. She sent one of my best friends a voice note on Instagram in which she has sent other people voice notes and people tag me in them. Now they're like, oh, she do be sending voice notes. Yeah, guys, I wouldn't fucking lie. I wouldn't just say that.
Yeah.
One of my best friends, because Nia had got caught liking something surrounding, like, remember when, which Jimmy Kimmel, was it Kimmel? Yeah,
Mhm,
got
mhm.
pulled, Trump, all that stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
She liked something along the lines of, like, on Team Trump. And this is
Ugh.
not the first time that Nia and Danny have gotten, quote unquote, caught. I don't want to say caught, but
Yeah,
for lack of a better term, because it's not like they're outright with it, right?
yeah.
Kind of on the, like, writer side leaning things. And I understand that Nia told us that story about how she twisted the guy's finger or whatever, and how she thinks Donald Trump is gross. That doesn't mean that she's incapable of having fucked up beliefs. So my friend who is also Latina, she was pretty much like, you need to watch, like, what she needs to watch, what she likes or whatever. And I guess my friend was just like, I'm unfollowing. Like, that's what,
Mhm.
after it was seen that like, I think it was on a Bravo page or something that Nia liked this thing. My friend just, like, commented and was like, unfollowing. Nia sends her multiple voice notes. And she's like, I don't even, like, I'll send them to you, Nor. I'll send them to you
I
because
can't wait.
it is literally, I'm like, what the it sounds like somebody who is like, I'm losing the audience. I can't believe, like, she's like, did you ever think that, like, I liked something that, and I didn't read it, and I just saw, oh, Kimmel, and I like him, and I liked it. Where's your compassion? Oh, do you hear this baby? Because you can't hear the baby in the background. Like, do you hear this baby, like, on my hip, and I'm blah blah. Mind you, you have no fucking clue who you're talking to. My friend just had a baby at that time, and she's a first time mom. So that's, of course, again, one of my best friends. Don't fucking talk to her like that.
Mhm.
Don't talk to her. Talk to me. Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know who the fuck. Well, first of all, why are you sending this voice note? Just because somebody said, like, oh, I'm unfollowing. And my friend is like, I'm not answering her because, like, this is too
No,
much and this is weird.
ne
And, like,
uh-uh.
this is not what I signed up for on my, like, little scroll while my child is taking a nap. But, like, you're not the only fucking person that has had a baby 4 under 4. You're not the only
Yeah.
mom. You didn't corner the fucking market on being a mom. If somebody says they're unfollowing you, just take the L. Even if you did not mean to, like that or whatever the fuck it was. Just be like, okay. And my friend was like, as a Latina, like, you got to make sure, like, you must be aware of, like, what you're liking. She's like, that's all I was
Yeah.
saying. And, like, she's clearly not, like, like, paying attention like that. So I just, not for me. And I was just like, girl.
Also, I think that Nia's spending I do hear that Nia likes to send voice notes. I have heard that, and I've also heard that Nia is in the DMs a lot,
She is.
right? But here's the thing, Nia, if you're listening, you're not, but you might be. I don't know. You seem to have a lot of time on your hands. If you're listening, you are taking the energy and putting the energy you need to be putting towards your shitty fucking husband and your shitty fucking marriage, you are now putting it towards the viewers
Mm-hmm.
and Janet and all these people. No, here's a few things we know. Danny's a nasty fucking drunk.
Mm-hmm.
Danny did grope women.
Mm-hmm.
Danny does not want to take accountability.
Mm-hmm.
Danny treats you like shit.
Mm-hmm.
And rather than taking ownership of the fact that you are in a shitty marriage and you want to continue to be in a shitty marriage because God, church, whatever, whatever, instead of taking any ownership in that, you're taking your energy and putting it on the wrong people. So
Mm-hmm.
I felt bad for her watching this episode, but I really don't feel bad for her because you know what? You're a grown ass adult. You want to be in a shitty marriage, and we got plenty of shitty marriage to talk about on Summer House. I don't want to dissect people's shitty marriages anymore. I see two
Yeah.
shitty people in a marriage and I go, you know what? Stay together or get divorced. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. And you know what? I get very, like, torn because I don't know what it's like to be a mom. But
Mhm.
one thing that I will say is Kristen and Nia sound and seem, look, so fucking overwhelmed. They started
Mhm.
filming this show 3 months after what, their baby's being 3 months old. Like, they're, even the
Mhm.
shittiest maternity leave is barely done at 3 months,
Yeah.
right? From what I
Uh-huh.
understand. I'm wondering if they would have had more time to, like, settle in as their new parent, like, especially Kristen and, what's that boy name? Luke.
Luke.
Because I'm very fucking stressed every single time I see Kristen and Luke trying to like
Mm.
get their baby down or get situated or get out of the house. And I know for a fact that it is like that because hello, my friends, like most of my friends have children, multiple children. So I get it, right? Whenever I visit, I'm just like, I'm just trying to help. Give me something, I'll hold it. And how do I help get us out of the house, right?
Yeah.
Because I know it's but I'm just like, I don't think they were ready to start filming this show again. And it's unfortunate because you can't be like, oh, we're gonna sit out this season because this is their job. But
Yep.
at the same time, I'm like, that's how I feel. It's like they just weren't ready, and unfortunately, here we are.
Yeah, they weren't ready. And I have a lot more empathy and sympathy for Kristen because
Mhm.
like she like look, we knew Jax wasn't coming back. If we don't have Jax on the show and we don't have Kristen on the show, it's ostensibly not really even a Vanderpump, spinoff anymore. I think Kristen recognizes like how much she needs to be on the show, but at the same time, like I feel for her. But like Nia, I don't feel for. You have 4
Mm.
children. You're in a shitty marriage. Like she talked in this stupid podcast that like I saw the clip of her being like, "Oh, before we got married, like we had such a free schedule and we were so spontaneous and like or before we had kids, like it was so spontaneous and he did voiceover work, so it wasn't like he was working all the time and he had his own schedule and blah blah blah." And so like after we had kids, everything changed and we're just in a difficult season of our marriage. You have 4 children. Look. Look. I don't know what your church is telling you about birth control, but you did make
Yeah.
those you did make those 4 children, okay? And you are choosing to continue to be on the show and then it's a disaster. I don't like it. I don't care for it. I am interested when you get around to it to hear what your thoughts are on Miss Lacey.
Oh, okay. Well, here's my thing. I want to take this back to I am deeply, and I've said this somewhere before, I am always deeply uncomfortable, but also like, okay, that's what they got going on over there. When I hear women say, like, oh, I'm done having kids, I don't want to do this anymore, they actively are talking about either tubes tied or
Mommy
vasectomy.
makeover or
Yeah,
vasectomy. Yeah.
and the men are like, "Oh, I can't get a vasectomy. I can't take my manhood." They're literally when Danny was talking to that doctor, and he was just like, "It's your balls are still gonna be there because I'm
Oh, it's
like
such a
it was."
fucking
I was
idiot.
like, "No,
No.
he's so ridiculous." There is this reality influencer girly, Jesse James Decker, largely problematic, huge Trump supporter,
Mhm.
but she really just whacked herself coming out as a crazy conservative. But anyways, um, I remember her husband, they had like 3 kids. Their oldest was like pretty old. And I just remember seeing a video of her being like joking, like telling her husband like it's time to get a vasectomy. And he was like, no, no, no. And she was like, I'm done having kids though. Like I'm done having kids. And then what do you know? She's pregnant with a 4th. And I was just like, do we not see that? And maybe I'm on the line because I don't have kids, but I'm just like, a woman has said, I do not desire to have any more children. I have given you 3, in this case, Nia and this lady. I've given you 3 children already, and I want to work on me. And then she's pregnant again. Like, I'm just like, maybe I'm thinking too much into it. I don't know.
Mm-mm. No, listen, you're not. You're not because I have 2 children. We talked a lot for a very long time, my husband and I, about having a third or thinking about a third. And at some point in my 30s, I was like, I really like the life that I have. I love our 2 boys. I thought about having a third because I wanted to try for the girl or whatever.
Mhm.
And then at some point I was just like, you know what? I don't even want to think about this anymore. I'm such a Virgo in this way that I like thought about it, and then was like, boom, getting my tubes removed. Right.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of people that were like, well, why didn't your husband just get a vasectomy? And I said, because my husband still wants to have kids, but I don't want to have any more kids.
Mhm.
So I'm going to take the ownership on my own body and
Yeah.
say, I don't want to do this anymore. And it's not
Mhm.
like when I say my husband still wants to have kids, I just want to say he was never going to force me to have a third child. Like he
Right,
was
right, right.
like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, he was like, I don't know. What if I die tomorrow? If the man wants to impregnate 17 other women or whoever, let him do it. Like, I don't need him. I say it all the time. I'm like, you want a third? Go ahead. Don't let me stop you. You want more kids? Please. By all means.
Oh
I
my
love a
god.
baby. You want to bring that other baby around so I can cuddle with it and then send it back to the baby mama? Go ahead, please. Don't let me stop you. But all jokes aside, like I was just like, okay, I'm going to take ownership
Yeah.
of my own body and
Mhm.
say, I don't want to do this anymore. And I think, unfortunately, these types of relationships where these men are like, bro, what? I have to look at a model of testicles and balls. Ooh, I'm too straight for this. Those types of guys are also just not the type of guys that think that their wives should have any body autonomy. I
Yeah.
don't think that Nia has the ability to choose for herself. I think that if Nia says, I don't want to have any more kids, Daniel's like, oh, yeah, I'll pull out. And then he doesn't. Like, these are the types of gross people that we're talking about. Because whenever she talks about, like, tries to talk about therapy or like the type of relationship they have, Danny always turns it back to, well, we just do it based on our faith and church and God. And I'm like, that's code for my faith tells me that I'm the person that makes the decisions in this
Mhm.
marriage. And I don't give a fuck what this woman is saying on mic. But at the end of the day, I'm my little 4'3" ass, hobbit looking dumbass is going to be the one that makes the decision. And I'm just like, it's so toxic. It's so gross. I'm just
Mhm.
sick of watching these toxic white people on TV. I'm so
No.
tired of
And
it.
can I say this also? People saw, not a lot of people, but I saw a fair way more than I would have liked to see, being like, actually it was on my video. They commented and they're like, it's clear that we need Jax. No. We do not need
Whoa, whoa,
Jax.
whoa, whoa.
Here's my irritants with the Valley right now, right? And it mostly, I'm sorry, it does go back to Kristen Doty.
Yeah.
Kristen, you know better. You know
Mhm.
better than to behave how you are fucking behaving on this motherfucking show right now with the whole Janet of it all. Am
Mhm.
I super team Janet? No. Do I think that Janet has Karen qualities? Yes. But I said this online. I said it is baffling to me that Janet is on a show with some of the most Karen white women we have ever seen on Bravo. Kristen,
Mhm.
Kristen, okay, has absolutely behaved like a Karen.
Uh-huh.
Miss Kentucky Muffin, girl, I will never ever
Please.
forget when she was getting called out and somebody was like, she was like, I ain't never called nobody nappy. Okay. like Karen, Janet absolutely has Karen tendencies. Lala,
Please.
like all of these women have Karen tendencies. So between the fandom and then Kristen being like, Janet is the fucking worst, I'm like, what kind of fucking Twilight Zone am I in? What
Not
Twilight
me.
Zone am I in? Two, Janet does not know how to apologize.
No, it's
But
so funny.
she's apologizing like a reality TV person, okay?
Mhm.
Because when she looked at Jasmine, said the good apology. The apology, the initial one was good, and was like, "Do you maybe have?" I said, "Oh my god!" And Jasmine's like, "Janet." Okay, and she's like, "You're right. Sorry." And I said, "Okay, I call Janet a surface level bitch. Like
Yeah.
I do know a couple people that have had not the best interactions with her, but not the worst. Surface level bitchiness. I
Mhm.
also know a few people that know her personally and they're like, she's fine. Like she's not
Yeah.
like this raging psychopath or racist. And I
Yes.
will say from season 1, I never understood when people were like, Janet is a racist, Janet is a Karen. I was like, she's a white woman.
Yeah, she's just behaving like her
I was like,
culture.
yeah, she's behaving Caucasianly. I said, I said a racist. Now, like my main thing was Janet on the beach last season with Jasmine. Do I think that she took it to a place of like, yes, I do. Okay.
Yeah.
Do I think Jasmine also got very heated and Jasmine does not explain herself well? Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Jason was standing up for his wife, which I respect.
Mhm.
Am I on his wife's side? No.
No.
But Jason don't play about Janet, and I have to respect a man who don't play
Yeah,
about
you're
Janet.
like, "Okay."
I have to, and Jason look kind of good. Okay, I
No, I
have
would
to
say,
respect it.
unfortunately, on the show, Jason is the best looking guy there.
One of his confessionals he had on the, I know I was like, good for you, Janet. Okay, good for you, right? But like, I understand all of these dynamics, and I really do think that like between Janet, Jasmine, Zach, I think if they just like kind of just chill and let it be, their friendship will come back together naturally. And I do
Mhm,
think, yeah, Janet's wanted to be on reality TV for a really long time. She probably
mhm,
overdid it a little bit.
mhm.
Absolutely. I might do that too one day. I hope not, when I finally become the reality star that I want to be. But it's not like everybody's acting like we can't move on from this fucking show. This show, if y'all don't fucking watch it, you're not going to have a fucking show.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
this is not, we can't move through. Kristen Doty, literally do your fucking job.
yeah,
Do
yeah.
your fucking job. I don't want to watch you argue in a saloon with Luke anymore and then sit here and make Janet look like she is the root of all evil. And what Janet said was correct. He does abuse women.
Correct. Yes. Unfortunately, Janet is not wrong in anything that she has said.
She's
It's
not,
just
the way she went about it.
her
It's like,
delivery sucks.
yeah, the way she went about it and then the way Jasmine failed to clean it up. I again, ja I like Jasmine. If I could give her any, I wish I could be in her ear being like, Jasmine, 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 calm down. But I get it. I've said this about Jasmine before. That when they were at Santa Clarita and the whole like Michelle, let me tell you something. Michelle, now when everybody was like, Michelle's a Karen, that shit with Jasmine, I said, oh, bitch, yeah, I'm done with you. Out of here. Okay. But I felt Jasmine when she was like, I'm the only fucking black person here. You're
Mhm,
telling me all of these people they were talking about me and then saying something that I literally did not say.
mhm.
I said I wouldn't hang out with Lala if she weren't on the show. What they were talking about the show, if it weren't for the
Yes.
show. Okay. I feel Jasmine because there's been multiple times when I've been around white folks and I've been like made to look like
Yep.
the dramatic one. And I have
Yep.
no one to look around to even be like, this is how this felt for me,
Mhm,
being surrounded by these white folks. And that person, if even if they didn't feel it, if it wasn't targeted towards them, that fellow black person could be like, yeah, I understand what you're saying here. And to
mhm.
for the record, I do think Brittany's nosy ass little boyfriend was trying to do that, but you are new here. You can't you
Well, yeah, he tried it, and then he very quickly
back
backtracked because
down.
Jasmine was
Mhm.
like, "Brandon said that you guys were saying stuff," and Brandon's like, "I never said that." And I was like, "Brandon, you fucking snake. Get the fuck out of here, you
I was
loser."
like, even when there was something else he said, and I was like, and Chris to Kristen, and he was correct. But again, and I said, he is correct, but I would have had the same reaction as Kristen. I'd have been like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah,
Who
you're new
are you? He was
here.
not wrong, but like you gotta shut up, my boy. Like unfortunately, this is not, you can't do this here. But I do, and I felt like with Jasmine, what she said was like, oh yeah, so and so said, whoever said that Jason takes his ring off, they can't be mentioned on the show, clearly. That's
Mhm,
clearly what that is. It would have been more, and again, Kristen Doty took that from Jasmine and ran with it.
mhm,
She ran with
mhm.
it. Janet, once we hooked those dots there, Janet kept running with it. It was like, this is how my husband takes his ring off. I was like, Janet, you're on a look at the people you're on a show with. Look at the people you're on a show with. You are like, this is how my husband takes his ring off. Just let it be. Let it be.
Yeah. And I wish that like some of these people would understand like you just need to take your foot off the gas because the
Mm-hmm.
people around you are going to crash into each other. They
Mm-hmm.
are such disasters. They're going to crash into each other. You literally don't need to say anything.
Mm-mm.
And I do think that Janet is doing like a touch of that this season, but anyway, listen, speaking of Karens, let's touch on Southern hospitality before we talk about Summer House. This week, the kids ended their trip to, as Maddie Reese calls it, Puna Cana. I was like, it's
Ah!
Punta Cana. It's Punta Cana. Can't you say it? She's like, Punta Cana. I was like, I can't. It ended with a hilarious dinner where, as usual, Emmy shed her white women tears. And the funniest thing about it was Emmy's crying, and Maddie is apparently terrorized by cats. She does not like cats, which is so funny. Everybody just was like laughing at these two stupid idiots. And then they went back to Charleston, and I couldn't tell you what happened, but like, Molly is now mad at Michaels because Emmy told Molly that Michaels actually was the reason why Molly got fired. Girl, I don't care. Molly, I forgot you even worked at Republic. Um, and then Lake goes on a date and Justin called his mom. I don't care. Point is, let's talk about Emmy fucking Sherritt, one of the worst, demonic, most terrible people that we have seen on Bravo, a network where we had Jax Taylor.
Mhm.
Truly a fucking menace.
Mhm.
On the topic of Emmy, I would love to talk a little bit, and I haven't talked about it on the podcast, about Miss Leva's social media movements about Emmy.
Mm.
So Leva went out there and Leva has to stay the fuck out of the comments. Okay. Leva, if you think that you're Lisa Vanderpump, you need to stay out of the comments because Lisa Vanderpump does not go in the comments. She's never commenting on shit. She barely even interviews. She doesn't do anything. She does her work with Radar Online. She tells her
Yeah.
people to tell Radar Online. That's what she does. You have to be smarter, Leva. Leva was in the comments saying, "Oh, I'm learning about Emmy as I'm watching the TV show. I didn't know about it. And besides, you guys don't know these people actually hang out like off camera." And then Rupert Baxter, who is a hilarious Instagram person and influencer, was like, "Leva, I hope that your kids aren't treated this way by a woman like this." And Leva's like, "How dare you bring my kids into that?" Blah, 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 blah. So Leva is not helping. She actually no, she is helping. She's helping white people get away with nonsense.
Mhm.
That's what she's doing. But I would love to hear your take on it and like your debrief of the whole situation because we've been talking about it over text.
Can I ask something? This I know this has this is whatever spiciness goes on when my brain is worked up because it's not important at all. Does Leva have kids or does she has one? I thought she had one son.
I thought she had two boys.
I thought she had one son. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Somebody will tell us, I'm sure. But Leva, I've said this to you before. Leva types like a boomer in the comment section.
She
Like,
really
I
does.
literally every time I see her comments, I'm like, how old are you? Every time I'm like, Leva, how old are you? Because you are literally typing in like a boomer in the comment section. I said this also on some form of social media. Pulling the "how dare you talk about my kids" card is rich in general, and I knew she was going to do that. However, it's very rich, especially from Leva, because Leva, when we were introduced to her, I always said, this woman she ain't what she thinks she is because she's going up against the likes of Catherine Dennis in 2020. Would
Mm-hmm.
talk about an easy target. And you
Yeah.
know what? I said this, I think I said this to Raven. I said, I hate and to see where Craig might be coming from. I said, Craig's ass probably is like, this bitch came on this show, tried to make us all look racist. Meanwhile, she's just as anti-black.
Yes.
He probably was like, do you know what she says? I said, she done pissed Craig off. Okay.
Yes.
Can't even be on the same show as him anymore. But I knew what Lamar and Leva were like as soon as that Zax Dax thing happened. And I was like, oh, okay. Much like my father, also a black man from the South who grew up with close to nothing, made a very good life for himself, but did not do any inner work and now does not speak to his children because of that. Lamar, you can't tell him anything because I grew up, I built myself out of the mud. I went through these trials and tribulations, and now look at everything that I've built. Look at everything I own. In their minds, you can't tell them anything. They know what's best for their family. They know what's best for them. They know what's best for their business. And because they are black in a city such as Charleston and Levis Brown, it's like we are the ultimate. And I'm sure those white people look at this is a product of the white people looking at them being like, I'm not racist. I love Leva and Lamar.
Look, they're so successful.
I
They're so successful. I
go
love
to
them.
Lamar Sports Club everywhere.
I love their little black brown baby.
I donate to them. I love them. Same way I say about Emmy's, whoever is constructing or talking to Emmy in the background, her mom being like, oh, you just can't say anything about the blacks anymore. We had that Bradley Carter over at our house. We had him over at our house. If I was racist, I wouldn't have him over at my house.
I let him eat at the dining table with us.
You can't just say these things about Will and Emmy. Oh God, they're just trying to break them up. Okay, I know in my bones these are the conversations that are
Yeah,
being had.
they're
And
like, it's because y'all are good Christians. You want to get married, and those people, they just want to party and they want to be promiscuous, and that's what they're jealous of. Emmy,
and
you can't
I
talk about it.
I could not have conversations or like learning combos or whatever Lake wants to call it with
Uh-uh.
people like that, the black ones as well. Okay. I get extremely triggered when Lamar does speak publicly. And again, I know it's because of my dad. Like, because I'm like, oh my God, no one's saying that you're not smart. No one's saying that you're not successful. No one's saying that you didn't pull yourself out of the fucking mud. But you can still hold anti-black values. And like in the black community, we often talk about, and I know me and you have talked about this
Yeah.
within our own communities, the the only thing keeping from a lot of older black people from being conservatives is just slavery and the history of America. Older black people, a lot of times, especially ones that grew up in the South, are way more conservative
Yep.
than people think. And that is exactly what I got. All of this, Leva trying to diminish this, being like, these kids, and then saying like, no one asked Lisa Vanderpump. Lisa Vanderpump don't talk to us. She told
Yeah.
us early and often she don't give a fuck what we think. Okay? She is not in the comment section. I don't think she can see. I don't think that there is a font big enough she can make Instagram so that she can talk to us. I'm so sorry that was an old joke. But like that woman, like Leva, please be real. And this is what happens when you have no sense of self. Yes, you had an idea that you wanted to follow, which was Lisa Vanderpump, but then you're so busy trying to put yourself in a Lisa Vanderpump role. No,
Mhm.
you got the make and model of Vanderpump Rules for the South from them. You be Leva. You be Leva.
Mhm.
I could tell by the
Mhm.
clothes Leva wears, so she has no like real sense of identity.
Well, I think it's interesting you're talking about like the type of people that exist, like you described your father and the type of person that Lamar is. And I think I see some of this in Lake too.
Yes.
Is that
Yeah.
there is, and I'm not going to speak for the black community, I'm going to speak for my community. There are a lot of South Asians, there's a lot of minorities that have broken the mold
Mm-hmm.
and they feel that they have reached the standard that was set by white people.
Mm-hmm.
They hit the standard of the white supremacist standard of success. And
Mm-hmm.
because they did that, they think that everybody else can do that too. And then they look down on your own community and say, "Well, why can't you figure it out? Why don't you have any room for this? Like why haven't you figured it out if I could figure it out?" And it's like, "Well, no, I don't want to work towards a white standard.
Right.
That's not a fair standard. That's not an equitable standard of
Mm-hmm.
existence. The white supremacist world is not one that puts black and brown people in any level of success. In order for you to get up there, you had to like basically stomp on the heads of your actual community to
Mm-hmm.
get up there to appease these racist white people. And I'm not willing to do that anymore. And with Lake, I think Lake is an interesting thing because she's talked about like how she comes from a very prominent, very healthy, wealthy family. And you talking about like Southern people who are so much more conservative, who are just as conservative, certain Southern black people who are as conservative as white people. Yeah, Lake's own father has no interest in her being a queer
Mm-hmm.
woman. He
Yeah.
has no patience for it. He's absolutely homophobic because that's the conservative spaces that they grew up in. So Lake is another woman who is in her 20s and hopefully she'll learn her fucking lesson. In your
Mm-hmm.
20s, I think you do think that you have like room for this. She is still on record talking about how, "Ugh, I know Emmy can be so frustrating. And Emmy is so, yeah, I get frustrated with her, but like you just have to like no, no, stop appeasing stop changing yourself, stop diminishing yourself to appease a white person. It's not worth it. It's never worth it.
Yeah.
With Asians, we talk about the model minority myth. It obviously exists within black culture too. And it's just like frustrating to watch these young people still try to do that. I mean, I'm glad Michaels is sick of Emmy's shit.
Mm-hmm.
But like even Michaels, like you're also problematic sometimes. And it's just like because you guys are still if Leva's correct, you guys are still
Mm-hmm.
hanging out with Emmy. Why
Yeah.
is anybody being nice to her? Stop
I
fucking talking to her.
yeah. I listen. Excuse me. I think that how do I want to put this? First of all, Lake. I want to go back to Lake.
Yeah.
As soon as Lake
You
came on
said,
to
and
the
I
show,
quote, I could write a dissertation about like
I could. as soon as Lake came on this show and said, like, talked about her sexuality and said that her dad doesn't know, I said, oh, girl, you have, like, you need to call him right now. Because one thing Black folks do not take kindly to, like, no matter what, is learning something. My mom would, she wouldn't talk to me like Lake's dad talked to her, like, whatsoever. She would be like hurt. She don't want to learn something about her child on TV with the rest of everybody.
Yeah.
And I understand because I had that talk with my mom about my sexuality. However, my mom's great. She's the best friend in the world. She looked at me. She said, "Oh, sweetie, yeah, we know." Okay. She's like, "Hey, girl, yeah." Anyways, so I can relate when saying like I don't know what it's like to like feel that way. Obviously, I've not talked to my dad about my sexuality. One, because I don't talk to my dad. It's so pointless. There's no need for me to talk to him about that. But when her dad had that reaction, my dad has spoken to me in the past when I still like gave that relationship chance after chance. He has spoken to me like that. Like, it's not, first of all, we grown, okay? Even in my 20s or something, and my dad was not as present as Lake's dad was. She spoke about them having a very close relationship. So I'm sure it hurt her even more because she was so close with her dad and she loves him so much. Not the same testimony for me. So but I would be interested in learning more about Lake's family. Like her mom, I'm not gonna lie, I thought Lake's mom was not full Black. I can't remember. But when her mom was like, "You do not talk to white girls about Black girl business," I was shocked and I was pleasantly surprised. Okay. Because Lake does not, from what I see, does not behave like somebody who has been corrected, right? About that silly shit before. And Lake did an interview with Gibson and was like, racism is systemic. She said all the right things. She said all the right things. Racism is systemic and you have to unlearn things and you have to, have conversations with people, all things that I agree with. But once I realize I'm 34, I'm a good 12 years older than like, I'm not having conversations with white people about basic racist shit. At this point, Emmy has been told multiple times. Emmy has also said, I understand. And that I shouldn't have used that word multiple times. And then it's not even a double back. It's not a triple back. It's not a quadruple back. It is literally like, this bitch has an illness. If white fragility could be an illness, oh my God, if entitlement could be an illness, she said something to the effect of like, I'm just that Emmy again with ADHD who's getting blamed for breaking account. Go see the lady.
Youth sports families and fans, huddle up. Wherever life takes you, Game Changer keeps you connected. Stream games live in full HD when you can't be there. Get play-by-play updates right on your phone. And share game highlights with everyone. Full bragging rights included. Live the game like never before with Game Changer. Create your free account today at gc.com.
Listen, there is that I've learned on social media. These white girls love to pull the neurodivergent card as soon as they're called out on their racism. They're like, ADHD. And you're like, I know plenty of people with ADHD who aren't monsters.
Literally. And I said this online as well. Emmy is always going to make a space for her feelings to be valid, even when the space was not allowed, because of people like Lake and people like Leva. And I will say Michael to a certain degree, because the way you deal with Emmy is to stop hanging out with her. I'm sorry. Yep. That is the way you deal with Emmy. Even Emmy telling Molly that Michael's voted or whatever to get her fired. Let me tell you something, as somebody who was in the restaurant industry and who has worked with their friends and was the manager. It's not a fun job. Okay. And it's not fun when I hate working with my friends, being their bosses, because sometimes somebody's going to bring something to you and be like, what do you think? Like, do you think they should work? And you have to answer honestly. If I would answer this, if I would fire this person for this, I have to say, I'll fire you too.
Yep.
Okay. And so I need Michaels to see that Emmy held on to that. And I don't know why Molly keeps trying to fucking talk to Emmy either. It's like, oh, she fat shamed me, she this, she that. Why the fuck do you want to be her friend then?
Yeah, fuck you too, Molly.
Then? Like, what? But like, she held on to that. She used it. So when you weren't talking to her or whatever, which I think Michael's was well within his right to not talk to her and not want to speak to her, because those conversations with her, oh,
Mm,
enraging. It makes
mm-mm,
my fucking skin crawl. I don't want
mhm.
any black person around Emmy ever again. If I could
No.
outlaw it, I would. I would put her on a fucking list of like not unsafe to be around black people. I
Yes,
really, really would.
correct.
Okay.
Yes.
I hope she's not on the show. And when she tried to like bait Brad and be like, you were gonna be a groomsman, I was like,
No.
but I have to say, I love Bradley Carter. I've loved him even before this because I think Brad is a great reality TV star. And I love that he is also a black man from the South and his best friend is TJ and he
Yeah.
loves Michaels. I follow him. I was like, oh my God, like, wow. He like has tweeted and retweeted and reposted stuff about being like Christian and like having LGBTQ friends and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And Brad's a messy bitch. Okay. I appreciate him being like,
Yeah.
do you want to say, Joe Bradley, do you want to say what you said to everybody about what Maddie's friends are saying?
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah, I think Brad is a perfect reality TV star. Like, was I annoyed when it was like, yeah, I just like lied about it. I just lied about Trevor cheating on Maddie.
mm,
Okay. Great. But I love that he was like, I owned it and yep, that's that's it.
I was
And I
annoyed
just
that he took the fall for it.
no, the person who should have taken the fall for it was Joe Bradley. Like, Maddie, your boyfriend was on the chat.
Everybody did it. I was mad that Brad took the fall for it. That was what pissed me off.
I know.
Because
Mhm.
to this day, I don't know if Brad was getting his dick sucked by the dumpster. And I've said this before,
It's one of the funniest things
I
ever.
refuse to believe it for multiple reasons. I work in restaurants. Some of the worst smells, I've worked in restaurants for 13, 14 years. Some of the worst smells are the dumpsters. And wherever the dumpster is, the grease trap is. I do not think that anybody would get an erection back there. I don't think that anybody would want to open their mouth back there. When I walk into the dock into my job now, I am like holding my breath. You could literally get in your car. Like, I don't think that Brad was getting his dick sucked by the dumpster. I really don't. If you smelled that, you would understand. No. I don't
And
believe
you
it.
know what? If he did, let him. Okay.
Yeah.
Who cares?
It's not like he
Who
was still with that girlfriend and he's actively denying it. Like, that relationship is
Yeah.
over.
Exactly. And then also again, the thing with Brad and the whole Trevor thing is every single person on the cast besides Maddie was on that group chat.
Yeah.
So please be mad at everybody else, Maddie.
Mia
Don't
wasn't paying attention though. My Mia wasn't paying attention.
I love
And I
her
believe that.
so
I
much.
believe Mia wasn't paying attention because
Mhm.
Mia's like, I'm getting taken on dates. I'm getting flown out. Blah blah. And you know what? Okay, somebody reminded me of this and I forgot about it. Back to Leva. Leva fired the two people of
Mhm.
color
Mhm.
for
Yep.
for literally doing the thing that we see these white kids do all the time. And that's when my adoration of Mia grew because she fired Lucia. And I know Leva was like, oh, I gotta reel this bitch Mia in because who does she think she is? I think everybody is threatened by Mia.
Yeah.
Because when Mia said, you're firing people for drinking, Leva said, who's drinking? Mia said, me.
Amazing.
And Leva said, oh, you gotta go. She called her bluff right then and there. She
Yeah.
called her bluff. Mia ain't never been back to her public. Didn't ask for a job back. I love that girl.
I love her.
love
I
her.
love her. I love her so much. And yes, going back to that point, does Emmy Sherritt still have a job at Republic to this day when you have fired the two women of color? One was a single mother, by the way,
Mhm.
for drinking on the job. Okay. Well, Emmy is harassing your staff off the clock, but still harassing your staff. Actually on the clock too. She's screaming at people in the back rooms, talking about how she
Literally.
was having a panic attack. Shut the fuck up. Like, there's
Literally.
no reason why Emmy should be on the show. There's no reason why Emmy should be working at Republic, go be with your weirdo fiance who does not like you. Oh, every season she was like, every season this happens. Like if Will was here, he would have kicked everybody's ass. No, Will would not do anything. Will has not done anything.
Like Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide. Ned was not beating ass. What the fuck?
She's so
my
stupid.
God. I cannot. And also, I just want to I hate Will so much. I'm so happy I don't have to look at him anymore because that boy really did bother the fuck out of me.
I hate him.
Something about his nostrils. Anyways, I want to say also, I just lost my train of thought talking about Will's ugly ass. I fucking hate him. I'm sorry, I do. Like, because also, Will, I mean, you don't have a protector in Will, baby.
No.
All of that shit, and I had the ick for her. All of that shit that allegedly went on in the dressing room or behind the scenes, cameras were down. Nobody was mic'd up. Will, you used to be close friends with Brad. Open the fucking door. And my mom would have been like, Will, Emmy is scared. You're not going to go talk to that boy? Aren't y'all in the South? Don't you go shake a man's hand and handle this whatever the fuck y'all do? No. If me and Megan are in a hotel room and somebody is texting her some shit, I do not care what it is. And I think they're outside the door, I'm opening the fucking door. If I have their phone number, I'm going to call them. Come talk to me really quickly. Come fucking talk to me really quickly. Will, you just stayed locked in the fucking room? Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? This all could have been handled had Will said, Brad, let me talk to you really quick. We're not going to be friends again. This relationship is over. Don't ever talk to Emmy like that.
Yeah.
Don't talk to her like that. Talk to me. That's all. That we would not be in this situation right now.
100%. Take a note from Jason from the Valley, okay? Yeah. Be real about your girlfriend or fiance or whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Well, now it's time for us to move over to the most toxic show of the week. It's not really toxic. Honestly, okay, can I say something? I'm a little bored.
No, same.
Summer House. I'm bored.
Same. I said, and listen, I'm bored and I'm like, let's get to the meat and potatoes because I cannot talk about Amanda and Kyle's marriage anymore. And I dreaded this. I said, oh, thank God this is the last summer we have to talk about Amanda and Kyle's marriage. And Ira Madison III, love you. He goes, in the city, ... And I was like,
I know.
I cannot talk about this fucking marriage anymore. As a divorcee myself. I can't. This is a masterclass on why not to marry the wrong person.
Okay, I have a theory about, because everybody's like, because Kyle is still, by the way, in the comments in some way defending Amanda. People are like, it's insane. It's insane. So here's my thought about Kyle. Okay, Kyle, what I know about Kyle Cook from this television show is Kyle does not like to be wrong. He likes to be good at everything that he does. And he likes to be praised. A true Leo. Center of attention, want to be praised, all that stuff. Oh my God, do you know that me and Kyle have the same moon and rising? It's very upsetting. He's a Leo sun, I'm a Virgo sun, but our moon and our rising is the same. It does concern me sometimes, but that's for another day. But Kyle wants all those things. Here's what happened. Here's what happened with Kyle Cook. The start of the second season of Summer House, those girls cut Amanda out of a picture and he wrote them that 18-page email. And from that point forward, he was locked in. He said, fuck. If I break up with these girls, these girls are going to be like, see, Kyle, you didn't even have to write us that email. We knew that this wasn't going to work out anyway. So he, in fear of being said, I told you so, he is trying so fucking hard. He cheats on her. He marries her anyway. She's a pain in his ass. He keeps cheating on her. He cusses her out. He does not want to be the one to end this marriage because he wants her to step away. And like he said in that weird Robert Durst, like in his underpants closet, like rant, he knows that she's not going to leave because she doesn't have the like ability to do so. We've even heard from her, God knows if she was lying or not, that when they released that statement in January, they did it together because Amanda wanted them to do it together. Like Kyle does not want out of this marriage, not because he really likes Amanda, but because he doesn't want to be told, I told you so.
Both of them are in their own ways are too coward to get out of this marriage, in which I would, again, as somebody who had to get out of a marriage.
Yeah.
I think if like without like cheating and stuff, without infidelity, a lot of times the two people are like, they're cowarding, like they're like, I'm too coward, I'm too chicken shit to get out of this marriage, and I'm deeply unhappy, right? That is what happens a lot of times. Amanda and Kyle is a fucking extreme, right? Because first of all, there is something highlighted in that 17-page email, the parts that we got to see. And I've said this for some time now, but I brought it back around. That season 2 email was never, ever, ever about Amanda being cropped out, Lindsay and Danielle not liking her. No, that was before season 3. That was going to season 3. That was, Amanda had only been on one season of that show as a full-time cast member. And she didn't know, and going into it, the Workers twins had been fired. And by the way, she had no girls. She had no girls in the first place, but all of the girls besides Danielle and Lindsay had been fired. Now they're cropping her out. They're coming back to the house. They're like, we got rid of the Workers twins. We're the big mamas on campus now. Okay. We run this shit. In the email, Kyle says something to the effect of like, this is not a guarantee for Amanda, meaning the show. Meaning the show. Okay. Amanda is not a guaranteed, is what he said. Right. So cropping her out, trying to get her off the show, trying to ice her out. That is what he is referring to. Amanda is and why, I don't know, even though I hear that Amanda is a really good like producer pet, and she's good, which we can kind of see. She's good at like orchestrating some things, right? Manipulative. Amanda wanted to be on this show. That's why she chased Kyle around the Hamptons. That's why she kept fucking him. Why she continued to marry him or whatever. And when she says to Wes, like, I always thought this is like the best I could do, it's because she wanted the lifestyle that being with Kyle, being Mrs. Kyle Cook, provided. These are two deeply incompatible people. This is a masterclass on when two deeply incompatible people get married. And at this point, said this yesterday online, I am so fucking tired of online being a space where we have to repeat and state the obvious before we make one point. Amanda, very manipulative. Amanda did not handle any of that last episode well. The internet feminists are like, are we gonna forget that Kyle is abusive? I won't go as far as to say Kyle is abusive. I am of the belief that sometimes grown people cuss at each other. Sorry. Maybe it's because I'm a product of divorce. Maybe because I am divorced. I think that sometimes arguments happen where cussing ensues. Do I think that Kyle has displayed problematic behaviors towards his wife? Absolutely. But do I also, Amanda at one point asked Kyle, do you want to get married to me? And he goes, I don't know, and throws a pillow. Done by, like, there are so many times where both of them should have been done. And now we are at the peak of all peaks. We are at the peak of all peaks where we cannot go back. We cannot go back. Everything that she desires, he is not willing to provide. Everything that, and vice versa. Okay. There's no going back. I literally, and
also, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say this last one. It has me thinking a lot because I am someone that I was like, I don't know if I really liked being a wife. Right. And yes, part of it is who I was a wife to. But I have complicated like feelings around being a wife. Amanda making me constantly be like, you need to be a wife. You need to get up and talk to your husband. And this is how a wife handles that. I'm like, I'm having an identity crisis.
What they did to your family, you're lucky to make it out alive.
Streaming on Peacock.
These men are going to come after me. Taking them out is my only chance.
Put a bullet in her head.
From the co-creator of Ozark.
Looks like a family was running drugs.
Execution-style killing, it's rare for the Keys. And it leads on who they might have been running for.
The cartel killed my family. I'm gonna kill them. All of them.
MIA. Streaming now. Only on Peacock.
It's okay.
Well, it's a part of their culture. You have to behave Caucasianly.
True.
I think you have a great point. And I think with Amanda, like Amanda from time and time and time, from the beginning of time, we have seen it, where Kyle does not prioritize you. He does not even really like you. And then when she got married to him, the switch up that happened is that she was like, oh, Kyle treats me like shit. And now I'm also going to treat him like shit. At the end of the day, like you said, not compatible. And two, just like two deeply fucked up people. And I'm just tired of watching their marriage fall apart. You're right. It is going to be on the city, which is really fucking annoying. But like him saying like no sex for 7 years, no attention, no friendship, no partnership, whatever. Her showing up at the table and being like, oh yeah, Kyle's going to Vegas for a residency. And he didn't even tell me about it. Like, yeah, that is her egging him on. That is her embarrassing him in front of everybody. And does Kyle deserve to be embarrassed sometimes? Look, I think all men deserve to be embarrassed. I think being a man is inherently an embarrassing thing. Men should be embarrassed about being within their bodies in the shitty world that they've created all the time. Okay. But in that situation, like he's a shitty person. Also, he's a fucking drunk. He's drunk all the time. And you're literally lighting fire on a person who is soaked in alcohol and it's going to catch in a second. Like, it's so fucking toxic. It's so gross. But what I did, I don't know if this makes me toxic. Watching Carl and Kyle fight and then make up made me laugh like really hard. I like was giggling.
I love friendship. I do. I love friendship. I was laughing at their argument because it reminds me of me and my best friends who have literally, we've never like almost fought each other, but we have gotten in each other's face. And when Kyle was like, I was really scared you were going to like slam the hood of my car. One time, me and my best friend Courtney got into it, and I was like dropping her off somewhere. I don't know, but she was pissed at me and she slammed my car door. And if you know anything about Black folks, you not slamming no doors around me. I put that car in park so fucking quick. I said, "Did you just slam my car door? Did you just slam my fucking car door?" Okay, because I was like, no, literally, I couldn't even tell you what we were actually arguing about. It then became about her slamming my fucking car door. I was like, do not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, even Carl was like, you threw the glass and I thought you were throwing it at me, but I guess you weren't actually throwing it at me. You were just like throwing it at the house. So then I got really mad. But what's so funny about Carl and Kyle both getting into a fight with each other is like, I thought at some point Kyle was like bleeding on his hand, but I think it's because he punched some like a car door or something. But it's so funny because they're both just saying each other's name.
Yeah.
Carl.
I'm like, what is happening? And then I also got a masterclass. Whatever West is whispering in Amanda's ear over and over again, I'm like, get the fuck away. I truly think that West is a weirdo towards Kyle. I think West is a fame whore, and I think West grew up watching Kyle. Okay, I shouldn't make Kyle seem that much older than West, but like, I think that I said this when Jesse and West got hired. I was like, it's clear that they were here to be the new like Carl and Kyle 2.0. Yeah. It's so clear. But West is a weirdo. If West were a woman, we would be calling him a fucking single white female. He is a weirdo. He is like trying to, I think he's trying to destroy Kyle's life. I do. Okay. Because all of that whispering in her, at one point we do hear him say like, let him dig himself into it or let him keep going or something like that. And I was like, who are you feeling like? Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Who are you feeling like? You're a fucking loser. West is a fucking loser. Oh my God. That I can't get into West right now. But
let's get into West.
So, but like to reel it back a little bit, all that stuff Amanda was doing, again, I had to look inward. But because one time my ex was like, I was trying to prevent him from getting into a bar fight and he wouldn't stop talking. So I did put my hand over his mouth. Every single person was like, don't do that. They were like, so why would you do that? Even my mom. And so I never put my hands around his neck though. Watching Amanda do that was weird. I think a lot of the things Amanda does also is like considered non-threatening because she is this little frail white woman with level 7 hair who looks like she's just like so weak and bleak, but it's not like
no, the hands are on the neck, the putting like I understood what she was trying to do, but it was like the way to do it, I feel like for me at least, I've grown up around men. I've raising two boys. I have a husband who only has a brother. What I know to be true about all human beings is sometimes you just got to hug. Sometimes
Yeah.
I feel like if Amanda went there and just threw her body on Kyle and was like, Kyle, I love you. Please stop. Like something like that, he would have
Would
reacted
never.
differently, but she would never do that because she doesn't want to hug him and she doesn't love him. So it's fine.
Watching
Um,
them are, oh God, watching them two have that conversation in Sierra and Mia's bed. I was like, you two married people, get up, get out of them people's room.
okay, so partially I was like, okay, maybe Sierra and Mia are like, Amanda doesn't feel safe. He was acting violently. He said, fuck you. Maybe they're trying to be like the protector and say, this woman doesn't need to be alone with this man. I could maybe see that. But I did wish at that point they would have been like, Amanda, do you want to go talk to your husband? Because like I don't really want this to happen here in our place of peace. Like it was so awkward. I really needed them to get the hell out. Amanda just laying there and being like, oh, what was that? Where's the apology? He actually did say sorry as soon as he walked into the room, Amanda. That's what happened. It was just like, it's so toxic. It's so horrible. It's heartbreaking to watch Sierra vouch for this
Mhm.
woman. Kyle's like, Kyle's upset because he's like, oh, Sierra said that maybe we should take a break. And then Amanda says in the confessional, Sierra has this thing where she always says the thing that's on my mind. And I was like, oh, like the way she wants to fuck West?
No. Hold on, time out. What Amanda said, because I have a PhD in white woman. What Amanda said was, and I was like, oh, bitch. She said, Sierra, love her to death. She has the tendency to say what I'm always thinking. The way Amanda phrased that shit, I was
Mhm.
like, bitch, you low key trying to blame this shit on Sierra
Oh,
when you
yeah.
put her up to it. Because if she just said like Sierra sometimes says what I'm thinking, but she was very careful with it and was like, love her to death. Why did you need to include that in there?
And we both love Hub House. We love Lindsay, but Lindsay tried to do that shit too. Lindsay was like, "Oh, so it's not about me talking about Vegas. It's about the fact that Sierra told you on the beach they should be
Every
separated."
single, exactly. Every single Lindsay.
Lindsay.
Lindsay. Such a Lindsay thing to do. Uh every single person that Kyle finally told, like, hey, on the beach earlier, Sierra and I had a conversation and she told me that Amanda's like interested in a separation. They're all immediately they go, oh. Because again, I am team Sierra and and Rachel Lindsay said this best. She was like, and Rachel Lindsay's friends with Sierra. She
Mhm.
was like, this cast is way too comfortable. And I hope one thing that they learn after this is to draw some sort of boundaries. Because
Yes.
when Sierra said that, I'm not mad at Sierra for saying it, but I was like, oh, things have been so blurred. We do not understand what is acceptable and what is like inappropriate as married folks now. And I'm so tired of everybody online being like, well, they're on a reality TV show. They're on a reality TV show. It does not matter. This is still a real marriage. So,
Yep.
yes, we wanted them to be more honest about their relationship because that like season or two after they got married, when they were like, everything's great, nothing's wrong. We don't fight. Well, but you stop talking, idiots.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, that was not that. But there's a line between like not saying what's really going on in their marriage and the unhappiness and other cast members introducing separation into their
Mhm.
marriage. It was out
Mhm.
of line. And then Sierra even said that the next day, like, she was like, I had a talk with Kyle at the club and I said, Sierra, you got to stop doing that. Right.
In the words of Lake's mother, you got to stay out of these white girls'
You
business.
have to, because being the friend of a white woman arguing with her significant other in the first place is tricky, but especially the black friend, we are always, because I've been there and I'm saying this, I'm speaking
Mhm.
from experience. Okay. We are always going to be seen as like, we are doing what we think is best, but it
Mhm.
always is going to blow back on us some way,
Yep.
shape, or form. I.e., Amanda being like, love Sierra to death, but like, no, mama, you got to let her, you be there for her, listen to her, all that stuff. Mm-mm. Stop talking to
Well,
Kyle about Amanda.
Amanda's also a freak because we did hear from that leak, from the reunion leak, that she literally is going to use Sierra's words to defend herself and be like, "You can't help who you love." Okay, speaking of who can't help who you love, fucking West. Okay. Listen, you and I have talked about this. I've talked to Raven about this. I've talked to many people about this. At the end of this episode, Jesse is like, hey, so you and West Sierra, you guys seem to be good. Like, where is this headed? Are you guys going to be cool about it? And then, of course, we see in the preview that they end up kissing. Listen, Sierra, we are vouching for you because we want better for you. But
I'm confused. Because, and I'm sure I'll get the clarity. It's just at this point, this is what makes watching Summer House hard too. At this point, there's too many leaks and too many previews that we are trying to put things together, because Kyle says in that like thing that they showed at NBC Upfront,
yes,
that he's gonna focus on West, his ease of lying, all this stuff. It doesn't matter, Kyle. I know, like, Kyle, you've been telling us that Amanda is stupid. Now she's showing us that she's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
You're like, well, wait, I didn't mean that. I didn't think you meant this stupid. Like, he has had a girlfriend since 2025, February 2025. What we're watching is summer 2025. Sierra seemingly says he's had a girlfriend for like a long time. So Sierra,
what are you doing?
Did you know? I want to know what was known. You know what I mean? Did this come about after the fact and like they all got the receipts and everything, or did you know then? And I've said this over and over and over again about West and Sierra. It's clear that Sierra does not open up to people very often. Why Sierra chooses the men to open up to that we have seen, I don't know. I don't know. Somebody replayed that clip of her crying to Austin, being like, you know, I like you. And I was like, okay. Yeah. I was like, I had a physical reaction. Her and West were friends, but their friendship formed at the same time as their romantic relationship. So I get where they think that they want to be friends. They were never, ever just purely friends out of like, pure, like me and my ex-husband, we were friends at one point. There was no I did not look at him romantically. He did not look at me romantically. Like, that is different than what West and Sierra have.
Oh, he immediately came in.
The relationships formed at the same time.
Yeah, he came in and was like, she's hot and I'm going to glob myself onto her. And then that is what he did. And that is what he continues to do. He's a freak. He's a weirdo. And people are like, oh my God, here's another video of him making out with a girl. Listen, I'm not shocked by Wes making out with somebody. And also, girls, stop it. Stop. He is not going to say no to you if you try to kiss him. He's such a freak.
Yeah.
He's so weird. It's not impressive.
Do you think he's going to soft launch a sex addiction?
I don't like that. I don't like that you put that in my brain. I don't like it. Why did you do that to me? That's really upsetting.
I'm gobsmacked by this grown man, how he has been, all of the women that have said he's been in their DMs, all from Bravo. I'm shocked. I am truly shocked. Sit down somewhere now.
West would be behind a dumpster getting his dick sucked.
He absolutely would. I think he could get an erection behind a dumpster. Absolutely. He knows no bounds, right? I am just truly Lisa Milan, that clip of Lisa Milan being like, I mean, he was cool, but I had to keep reminding him that I had a husband and children. What? Why are you so busybody? Sit down somewhere, okay? And then I was reminded of Jesse and Erica Jane fucking, and I said, both of you, hot in the pants, fast ass little boys, okay? You got on this network and we're just dogs with like, and it's gross, disgusting. Be an adult.
Yeah.
Grow up. Like, what the fuck are y'all doing? How embarrassing. And then that's my other thing. Like, Lindsay, I think, said, she was like, listen, we are a really close cast. We all know each other's secrets behind the scenes. And I'm like, and I thought this when Sierra said in her Marie Claire interview that her and West had a conversation and one of the boundaries set was no more hooking up with Bravo celebrities. And I said to myself, who else has he hooked up with? I was confusion. And I said, that's an interesting thing to say. And so when this Jen Fessler shit came about, I said, oh.
That's so weird. It's so weird. It's just it's strange. I think he's strange. The sniffing of the head, the whispering in the ear, he's gropey,
Mhm.
even complimenting Dara. All of these things, like I think he's like a sex pest. He's so
Mhm.
nasty. And I'm irritated because West does this really smart thing, which is so manipulative. He says nothing. And he purposely says nothing because then people feel bad for him. Oh, he's just shutting down. He like just doesn't know what to say. Like he doesn't have anything to say. He's just like, and he's like, I'm like sorry. I'm just like sorry. Everybody's like, oh, Jesse is Tom Schwartz. No, West is Tom Schwartz. Actually, West behaves the way Tom Schwartz behaves, where he gets to do the like, I'm just a little baby who like doesn't
Mhm.
really know how things work, and I'm like really sorry, and I'm listening and I'm learning. And you're like, no, you're gross and you know exactly what you're doing. You came on the show, you tried to be Kyle, and then you fucked his missus, then you globbed onto Sierra. West is not, here's the thing about him. West is not mad. He's not uncomfortable about being with Sierra because like whatever, she's going to catch feelings, whatever. Because
Mhm.
all season he talked about being with her was magical. When we were together, we were best friends. Everything was all this and that. West is annoyed. He's resentful of the fact that the only way he can be popular, the only way he can be liked by the audience is if he and Sierra are cool. That's
Mhm.
the only
Yep.
reason he still wants to be with that girl or
Yep.
wants to be nice to that girl. It's
Mhm.
not because he actually likes her. It's not because he gives a shit about her. It's
Mhm.
because he knows that that's the only way to win the audience back. And
Mhm.
he's fucking gross, and I'm tired of it.
No, 100%. Can I ask you something before we get off of here?
Yeah, of
People
course.
are really upset that Lindsay was like, yeah, I mean, me and Amanda has texted me. We're gonna find time to meet. I'm gonna have a conversation with her. And I promise you all, Paige said something, and I was like, girl, it's so telling. She was like, I am so overjoyed that I'm not contractually obligated to be at that reunion.
Mhm.
I think that, of course, everybody's team Sierra.
Mhm.
But if you think Paige isn't going to have a conversation with Amanda, if you think that all of these people have literally, and I said this, Amanda has the advantage of time. She has
Mhm.
the advantage of time that West doesn't have. She has known these people for a long, long time. It would be hard for me to wrap my head around somebody that I've known forever and have been friends with forever did this to one of our other friends.
Yep.
Right. And if they asked me for a conversation, I would probably be like, I mean, yeah, either way, no matter how I feel about it, if I'm going to distance myself from you or whatever, I will sit down and have a conversation with you. But what do you think?
I mean, I'm not like like I think the thing that we've heard from Lindsay is that when they were filming The City, she and
Mhm.
Amanda got really, really close. She's like, Amanda and I became best friends while we were filming the show together. And so Lindsay was really taken aback when all this West stuff came out because she was like, you were confiding in me. So
Mhm.
I think also Hub House, Mother Hubbard loves to have the tea. You're going to tell me that she's going to skip up an opportunity to sit down with the perpetrator of the crime and not get in their head? Come on. Like she's like, yeah, I want to know what you have to say. She's
Yeah.
always willing to talk. And again, I think people forget that they are filming a reality TV show. Bravo is not going to fire West and Amanda. If Amanda
Mhm.
chooses not to film anymore, that's on
Mhm.
her. But Bravo is not going to fire these people.
No.
Bravo loves to put these people back on camera. They love to capture these conversations. They love all this uncomfortable shit.
Mhm.
So Lindsay's like, if this bitch is going to be on the show, and I have to do my job, I'm not Kristen Doty. I'm going to go and do my fucking job. I'm not
Yeah.
going to stop filming with this person. I showed up with my pregnant belly and I showed up with my postpartum body and I said, Carl, we're going to film together. Like, she's a consummate professional. And I think
Yeah.
that's fine. But also, at the end of the day, yes, they're all Team Sierra. But I said this when this whole thing came out. Sierra values these relationships more than these people value her.
Mhm.
Sierra is not going to be valued by these people more than a paycheck and more than a television show.
No,
And
she's
I
not.
hope that she knows that. And I want better for her. I want her, obviously, she has Mia and KJ and all of that. But like, these people are going to value their full time job
Mhm.
over Sierra. So, yes, we can be mad at Lindsay, but like, Lindsay's doing her job.
Lindsay is a single mom who works two jobs, loves her kids, never stops. So She's got the heart of a survivor.
Yeah, you can't fit that grand piano in her foyer if she's
No.
not going to be filming with these people. Okay.
No, and I promise you, Lindsay, probably like 25% of Lindsay, 30% is mad at Amanda. Bitch, you fucked this bag up. You
Yes.
have fucked this bag up, and you do not fuck my bag up or Gemma's bag up. Okay. And if you think that conversation between her and Amanda is not going to be filmed, you're out of your mind. I also think that I think this is unpopular, and I think I'm thinking of this with two brains. Black woman to black woman, would I want if Sierra were my close personal friend, I would be like, girl, don't go back to the house. Don't let them white
Mhm.
people play it with you anymore. Don't
Mhm.
do not do that. If you don't want to go back to the house, don't go back to the house. The reality TV side of my brain, and also again, always pro black woman, I do want Sierra to go back to that house.
Mhm.
I do think that we are jumping the gun. We in general are jumping the gun too quickly. Sierra is always going to be all right. I think that
Yeah.
she has done a really good job on building her platform, and building letting people get to know her in a way that's not too much like, oh, we
Mhm.
know her every inner thought, but also proving that she's a professional in what she wants to do, so like host red carpets, things like that. I do think Sierra should give it one more season
Yeah.
with
I
KJ
think so.
and Mia and whomever else. I do think that she should give it one more season. I do think that if whether Amanda's in the house or not,
Yeah.
I
Absolutely.
do think that she should give it one more season in the house, and then really, really, because Summer House, everybody keeps comparing Summer House to Vanderpump Rules and how it was the end. Vanderpump Rules had been dying.
Yep.
We had been trying to resuscitate that fucking show forever. That show that Bravo fucked up not
Mhm.
introducing new cast members into
Mhm.
that show so many times. They
Mhm.
really shit the bed with it.
Mhm.
Summer House is not in the same position.
Mm-mm.
We have a good, solid group of newbies that I do think could hold this show and could continue it on after. I think Kyle should come back for one summer. I think Sierra should come back for one summer. This is hard for me because I want to be honest. I recognize that this is a messy bitch part of me
Mhm.
because Raquel ran away from these cameras. I want
Mhm.
Amanda's ass back up in that house
Mhm.
because I want Amanda's ass back up in that house because I want to see her operate in that house at post scandal, post not
Mhm.
having the protection of being Kyle's wife anymore,
Mhm.
and post actually finally having a friendship breakup that she cannot act like the victim in.
Yes.
Who Raven? I think it was Raven. Somebody was like, I was like, if West and Amanda come back to the house next summer and they're still like quote unquote together, I said, are they gonna share a room?
Oh
And
my
then
God.
Raven goes,
No, so
no,
I
bitch,
was
she's in the
literally
room with Bailey.
I was just thinking that. I was just thinking that. I was like, who gets that weird headboard? Who gets that?
Oh yeah. I want Sierra and Mia in that main room. Okay. I want that to be their room. I want Amanda to have to be in one of the small rooms.
Yes.
Okay, with the roommate. I want her to experience this show the way she's never actually had to. The way
Mhm.
a lot of other new people have had to, and that she has made them feel bad for.
Yeah. And honestly, remember last season when West and Sierra were both in the house and Sierra treated West like shit? I was delighted. I loved that.
She
So
didn't
I
treat
would
him
love
like shit. She
I
treated him
mean,
accordingly.
well, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
He treated him in the way that he deserved to be treated. And
yeah,
so I would love to watch these people get the season that they deserve.
yeah.
Like Emmy from Southern Hospitality is getting the season that she deserves. I
Mhm.
would love for West and Amanda to get the season that they deserve. Get the edit that they deserve. And you know what? If you want to come back and keep getting destroyed and embarrassed, then be my guest, I guess. I mean, I'm gonna watch and scream about you.
No, 100%. And let's be real. There's gonna be some newbies in the Bailey, because Bailey's already talking about Amanda's mental health. Shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck
And
up.
she's like, there are going to be some newbies that are going to be like, we really do feel bad for Amanda. And then she's just going to try and like adapt into them. And that's going to be fine. She needs to get back here. Get back here. And you know
Mhm.
what? You need to work, Amanda. What you going to do for work?
Yeah. Where's your bathing suits?
Please don't get me started.
We don't have the time.
Please don't get me started.
We gotta wrap it up.
What I'm sorry to sound like what a stupid person. If my husband was in that much debt, I found out how much debt
I heard.
I am gobsmacked, and I take back everything I said about him DJing. I take it back. You do whatever you need to do, Kyle. That's a lot of fucking money. But the fact I now understand where he was like, you want to do swimsuits? Bitch, you want to do swimsuits? Because Amanda, have you worn one of your swimsuits on this season? If that were me, I would be in them swimsuits. I would be showing you every time we went out. I would be showing you different ways you could put it on your beach vacation. When it came to the reunion, I would have a long ass cover up that would be turned into a fucking reunion dress. Even Dorit turned her ready to wear wedding dress line into a reunion dress. Okay, why are you not working for these fucking swimsuits?
She's dumb. She's so dumb. Lazy and dumb and a loser.
Oh my God.
I've been using the term cream of loser soup thanks to Kendrick lately, and I really love that. I love that term. Okay, so we could sit here and probably talk for like another 3 hours, but unfortunately we do have other things going on. Thank you so much for being here. Guys, please go follow Selle everywhere. Tell everybody where you can do that.
You can follow me on Instagram, Who Asked Zell, Who Asked Me Podcast. Yes, I have 2 Instagram pages. TikTok is Who Asked Zell. I'm on YouTube as Zell Brooks. Yeah. And you know what? Here's the thing. I do realize I have a lot of social media accounts.
Oh, I love it.
Crazy. I have a link tree. So once you go to one of those, click on them. It'll get you everywhere you need to be. Listen to my podcast, Who Asked Me Podcast. New episodes weekly. Not this week though, because I have family engagements to get to.
You know what? I love your vlogs, and I have to say one of the things that you did recently that cracked me the fuck up was Megan had a video of gardening, of like cleaning up the front porch, and you narrated it, and I was cracking up. It was one of my favorite things in the world. So guys, like just the vlogs alone, I love a daily vlog. I love a get ready with me. I love a daily vlog. I'm like, I'm here. I'm with you. Open up that medicine cabinet. I'm listening. Morning. I'm there. Especially because right now I'm literally laid up in bed all the time. I'm like, yes, watching all of it. So guys, go check out Selle everywhere. I adore you. I love talking to you. Your takes are my favorite. I'm just so happy that you're here. I hope that we continue watching this shit show, and we'll probably be talking to each other in 35 seconds about some bullshit that just came out right now on Threads.
Listen, it's hard being a podcaster right now because we get on, we record for an hour and a half with all the information that we just consumed from our phones so that we don't miss anything. We close the phones, we put them away, we get off the recording, we open it up, something else has happened.
Yeah, they're like, breaking news, Jen Fessler pregnant with Wes Wilson's baby.
That's liable, Nor. You can't put something in print. But I'm flattered that you'd think that I could still reproduce. I'm flattered. That's just